Hello world! Hola mundo! This is not just a tribute video for Mr. Stan Lee. This is another way to say thanks for all that great lesson we received from this amazing man. Mr. Stan Lee was always 3-4 steps forward. He was reading the future. He was really connected with the future. He was anticipating all the things that happened years later with the social media. He realized to keep a warm branding strategy was essential for his company. The very first strategy was the name of the company. Before to become Marvel's, the name was Atlas. In any brand, the name is so important. And he was aware of that from the beginning, until he saw a title of a book of Martin Goodman. The title was Marvel Comics. He realized that name is amazing. I can do a lot of things with that name. Slogans, mottos. I can get a lot of fun with that. The name is all very important in any brand. The name is so important to create identity. It's gonna help you even for that things that we are talking on these videos. It's about communication, how to communicate with efficiency our message, and the name is so important. As a part of his strategy, he decided to use and to treat the name and the word Marvel as a massive advertising campaign, using the slogans like the 3M slogan, make mine Marvel, or Marvel matches on, or simply welcome to the Marvel age of comics. The other companies that were doing comics started to use the same strategy, a kind of same phrases and slogans, and he was like, I have to create something that they wouldn't know what it means. And then he came with the word Excelsior, and they were like, Excel what? That's the reason why I said he was 3-4 steps forward all the time. He was living almost in the future. He was living already in the future. He started an attitude that is now very common in social media. It's these things to keep the people close to your idea, to try to keep the people close to your idea or to your vision. At those times, at least in this sector of comics, was different. All the concentration was more about the story, the art, you know, the quality of the writing, of designing, all that stuff. And this social and psychological treatment, the way to communicate with the people, was a different thing at that moment. It wasn't that important. It wasn't an issue at that moment. But this man was the man of the future, as I said, and he was, no, I have to do something about that. And this one was a very important point of his strategy. And the point was, keep close contact with the fans as much as possible. The competition at that time was very hard and very strong at the same time, and we have to say they had amazing stories, they have a great artwork quality, but there was something that was missing. There was a kind of detachment with the followers, and that was the thing. And he make a massive support basis on that. He catch that thing and he used as a leverage to pump the brand. And it was an amazing vision considering that moment. Well, and after, what happened? The smarty Stan Lee started to take seriously the Marvel page letters. until those letters became so popular. He realized that thing, and after he came with the friendly strategy. And this is just an example. The letters were like, Dear editor, I read your book and I like the story. Charles Jones. And instead of Dear Charles, thank you very much, the editor. Instead he was like, Hey Charlie, thanks a lot. Keeping the friendly tone all the time. Immediately the fans and the followers, they felt involved on the thing, and they really started to think, we are part of the thing, we are part of Marvel as well. We are not just people that just reading the books or watching the stories or before the film. This is all the things happen before the films. You can imagine how everything explode after with the films. So at that moment the letters start to be like, hey Stan, I love that story, man. As most of the time the old Stan was right. He connect with the people, and there's something when you are creating, if you are creating value, there's something that you can't measure, has no price. It's a kind of gift, and he made it. And the final strategy on this video from the marvelous Stan Lee: honesty always pay well. If you are talking in the brand, if you are building your brand, honesty always pay well. At a certain point of his career, if you are an editor and publisher as him, most of the time you are in trouble, and you have a kind of responsibility, and at a certain point you have the duty to deliver a product and you're not ready. At a particular moment was a Fantastic Four story book. It wasn't good. The story was a mess, but he had an idea, another strategy, and he was like, he wrote on the cover of the book this note: Hey kids, I have to admit, this is not the best story we have done, but we have given you so many good ones before. We think you owe it to us to buy this one also. You know what happened? That year, that ugly story was the best seller of the company. Thank you very much, old smarty Stan Lee.